in the end. You won't be able to make that final distance across the goalpost. And then he shared further, the most important person on the team is the manager, because of course he is always looking for God in every aspect of his life, and so he ties in the idea of the manager here. The manager who watches over the entire team from the sidelines. The manager doesn't run or score goals, but his power is greater than that of all the players put together. Similar to a manager who sees things that the players cannot see and gives signals, God sees things that we cannot see and gives us signs. If the players follow the manager's signs well, they will almost always win. But if the manager sends signs and foolish players either don't understand them or ignore them and play according to their own thinking, the team can only lose. So, of course, unity and oneness with God is one of the most important things in our life. And if we aren't clear on that, then we find ourselves unable to achieve the things we hope for in life. But what is it really that about soccer and about sports that Reverend Moon really saw was important? He said, soccer is a sport where competition takes place and someone wins or loses, but it also has the potential for significantly influencing countries and increasing their cooperation towards peace. I was told that twice as many people watch the World Cup as watch the Olympics. It surprises me, actually. This provides an idea of how many people around the world love soccer. Therefore, just like the Olympics, it has the power to become a force for harmony between countries, races, religions, and cultures. I see soccer and peace among countries as potentially powerful partners. So, Reverend Moon and Holy Mother Han have always been absolutely invested in achieving worldwide peace. And everything that they did was always towards that goal, and everything that they do is always towards that goal. And Reverend Moon particularly saw sports as a way to bridge the gap between peoples, between cultures, the boundaries that keep us separate, and we could unite in the enjoyment of sports. And this is something that is a really powerful idea, actually. It's not an idea that's unique to our true parents, but it is an idea that they uniquely see God in. Actually, as I mentioned, I took a template from online to create this, and my goal was to take the template, remove all the content, and put in my own. But I happened to read through some of the content because it was talking about sports, and actually, a lot of these points were touched on in the presentation that I didn't have to change anything at all. They were talking about the cultural significance of sports and how it preserves and celebrates the different traditions and it celebrates the diversity and the respect that different cultures can have with each other. And then social change and advocacy. Sports is a really powerful tool for making a stand and making a statement about things that need to change. And again, this is something that Reverend Moon really focused on. And in the autobiography, he also mentioned, he said that whatever you do in life, you should do with absolute conviction and determination. If you were to choose to be a soccer player, then you should choose to be the best soccer player in the world. And you should also choose to use that platform in order to speak towards important issues and try and make the change in the world that you want to see. And then, of course, global unity, bringing people from all around the world together across borders. Actually, the borders between countries are one of the biggest challenges, one of the biggest roadblocks on the roads to creating world peace. Of course, borders are important. It is important to understand and respect the differences between different peoples. But a border is not supposed to be a wall that stops you. Sorry, I don't want it to be political. But a border is a threshold where when you cross it, you see the change, you acknowledge the difference, and you love and respect people on all sides. So it's really sports has that potential, and we see that happening. In fact, in this World Cup, I have seen it happening. Social media, for all of its faults, is a great tool to highlight both the good and the bad that is happening in the world. And one thing that I have seen in social media is I've been somewhat interested in following sports during this World Cup season, getting a little bit invested. I'm sure I'll lose interest after the World Cup is over, but we'll see. But one thing that I saw was actually interesting. the posts that I was seeing about the team from Norway specifically. Norway was in the World Cup and they progressed pretty far. They were eventually eliminated. But there were some interesting videos I saw that to me really highlighted this potential for global unity. Um, there's no audio for these videos, but as you can see, these are fans in the stadium. And I just learned about this recently. There is apparently, well, it seems there actually is audio. There is actually audio. Anyway, this is the fans always love to do crazy things in order to support their teams and show appreciation. This one is called the Viking row, which is rowing back like in a boat. It's just a motion that the fans have started to do to support the team in Norway. And you can see this first video, the whole stadium is full of people doing it in unison, which is pretty cool. And then in the second video, you can see actually this is taking place in Madrid, Spain, and people are just joining in, showing support. You might think that these are fans from Norway in Spain, but they are, I believe, wearing Spanish colors. So this is a really, I think it's a very cool way to show appreciation for other teams. You're always there to support your team, but at the same time, you can really appreciate everyone who comes to an event and gives their all in a sporting match. Actually, I had this question about the stadium is always full of fans from both teams, but how do all the fans get there? Because you have to buy your tickets way in advance and you don't know if your team will get there, will get to that stage. So how is every stadium always packed with fans from both sides? And I think a fair number of them are people that are there just to support one side or another, to show appreciation and to celebrate and to enjoy the entertainment together. So I think that that is a really great sign of how sports can bring about global unity. At the same time, um, there's always going to be winners and there's always going to be losers in the sports. And not every team will be able to make it. In fact, almost all the teams won't be able to make it to the World Cup finale. But even in defeat, people are showing appreciation and support for each other. This is a video of a player from the Norway team. I had his name written down somewhere, but I don't see it now. Um, the player in pink on the left, he is staying late after the match in which Norway was eliminated. Oh, excuse me. He stayed to show support for his fans and to um, appreciate them for coming all this way to support his team. And actually, Pastor Udmi was mentioning to me that she thought that should be the norm. This is just the one player doing it out of his own personal desire. But really, the players owe enormous gratitude for all the support that they receive from their teams. And then, even in defeat, their country still welcomed them like heroes when they returned. This is a scene in Norway. Thousands of people coming to celebrate the return of their soccer team. Is really an incredible display of solidarity and appreciation. So, what is the call to action? The call to action is to watch the World Cup today. Uh, Actually, of course, it's optional. Of course, you can choose to enjoy sports or you can choose you have other interests. But the point is to understand that sports is a really powerful vehicle, a tool to create unity between people. And you may think that it's excessive the way people celebrate sports, or it borders on a little bit obsessed. Sometimes I feel that way. I'm not so passionate about the sports, and I'm like, I don't want to get that into it. I don't want my emotions to be on the line if my team loses. I know a lot of people have suffered from disappointment from different teams losing. I have been fortunate that my team, Argentina, is now in the World Cup finale, and I owe a great deal of gratitude to my family for putting me on the winning team. Actually, my mom wanted me to mention that my grandparents, my great grandparents, and my great great grandparents all come from Argentina, and they were all huge soccer fans. I don't know, but I would assume so because it's very popular there. But yes, sports are really a valuable tool for creating this kind of unity. And I really hope that everyone can find their own way to appreciate it and also to connect with activities beyond just the game itself. Of course, the game is fun, but um, our true parents were really passionate about creating projects for people to be able to play. They created programs and teams and initiatives in all different countries and many third world countries to give opportunities to people, to young people, to kids, to live out this dream that they may have to play sports. And I also have to acknowledge that really, if we weren't so caught up in life as it is, life in the fallen world, if we weren't, if we weren't at war and killing each other, or if we weren't stuck in our jobs and just living day to day, what would we be doing with all of our time? I think what we would be doing is we would be playing games, we would be writing songs, creating art. It's all about culture. We would be creating culture. And so we have to celebrate the culture that we have been able to create and build up from there. We're not starting from scratch when we create the kingdom of heaven on earth. We have so much from all different parts of the world to bring together. So I really hope that you have the opportunity to experience this, whether you're young and you can play sports yourself, or whether you're young at heart and you want to find ways to connect with the people playing sports, maybe just watching the games, you can be a part of it and you can find God's original dream and original purpose in that, in the midst of a particularly spectacular goal like this one. In any case, I hope that this has been a good, informative sermon. I hope that everyone has a great day enjoying sports today, and I hope that, yeah, everyone feels God's presence in all of this. God is just as excited as we are for this finale, so let's enjoy it together. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a great Sunday.
Right. Thank you, Pastor Augustine. Thank you. Thank you for your message today. Um, yeah, it was really beautiful to hear, especially in connection to soccer. I was curious what that would look like. Um, but yeah, just hearing your message, I realized and seeing the different videos, I realized how much of a piece making game soccer is or could be if used for good. And it, like True Father said, it has the power to become a force of harmony between countries, races, religions, and so on. And we could see that in the videos. And just hearing you say that, I realized we watched a couple of games together. And it was interesting that um, if for example two different countries not related to me or most people, but we choose to support a specific country or team or something like that, and just with a heart of wanting to support, right? Or and it's not that you're going to get into it and become a soccer fanatic or something, but it's just that you're there to just experience and support whether they win or lose. And yeah, in the various games I was supporting, I was against Argentina because I thought they should give opportunities to others. But they're so good. Um, yeah, and I was going with the mindset of just to be fair, fairness, give others an opportunity. But God is also on their side. So, yeah, it's great to see what it can be and what it can be used for, and that was true father's vision, true parents' vision for sports and soccer specifically. Because I remember, and even in his autobiography, he mentions like wanting to meet Pele, the soccer player, so that they can create a movement of peace where soccer is not just about competing but also creating peace among the people. And actually, if you watch the different games and see the fans. That's what it is. It's creating, there's peace within the game. And that's the kind of world we want to create. That's the vision of True Parents. That's God's dream, seeing everybody supporting each other. Whether they win or lose, they still support. Even the losing teams are still supported by their fans. The fans don't just turn and be like, oh, now I'm going to go to the winning team. It's like they feel compassion for the losing team. So yeah, I appreciate the sermon, the message today, and a reminder of who we are as a movement as well. We're peacemakers, and that's what we're here to do. And it is possible. And just seeing through soccer, it is possible. We ask ourselves whether it's possible a lot of times, but yeah, I think watching the videos and as you were sharing, I could see the possibility, how true or how real that vision can become. And it could be here in just the snap of a finger, so of a hand. So yeah. Um yeah, so thank you, Pastor Augustine. Now I'd like to open this space for discussion. Anyone who would like to share their thoughts and takeaways from the sermon or this message, feel free to do so at this moment.
I'll just add that watching the soccer match with someone who is rooting for the wrong team is a great opportunity to practice loving your enemies. So, yes, thank you for that.
Thank you, Pastor Augustine, for adding that. And yes, Ray? Oh, you're muted.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Pastor Augustine, for that inspiring, well put together sharing about yeah, sports from you always have such unique perspective to me. You're as you are always very honest, and you're not a super consistent fan of maybe of soccer, which I'm not either. I'm missing Walter Lowe. He's quite a soccer fan. He has season tickets to the Sounders, I believe, but they are up on vacation in northern Washington State. But I like the way you highlighted that True Parents' vision was so uh, broad and beyond. Of course, it was centered through religious lens at the beginning, but it expands out into many areas and everything that could come into bear on building peace, because sometimes religious people become somewhat narrow within their own specific area. And I felt like True Parents were just basically going around all of that at a certain point through the UPF, Universal Peace Federation, and Women's Federation, and especially through the sports activities, which really go into a completely different realm. As it says, it mobilizes people's hearts and emotions. And he did, yeah, work together with Pele, one of the most famous soccer champions of all history. Yes, somebody commented to me that once the stars become older, they come to America and play in a team here because, as you age, you slow down a little bit. But still, they are goodwill ambassadors. So it really is important when you see uh, those kind of things. I always remember in 1988 at the Olympics, there was North and South Korea participating, and True Parents really focused on that and really used the opportunity to build these bridges and really jumped in with both feet, 4 feet, and gave out gifts to the athletes from both countries and really tried to build these bridges, on a human level. So that was a good reminder of all their efforts. And I don't want to discount, and I never want to belittle that tremendous effort was made, of course, with many, many members backing up and, involving and doing a lot of the groundwork. So, that was all happening. So we're grateful for your reminder and the sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Yeah, and thank you for even your reminders as well, of the vision that your parents had as well. Um, Anyone else that would like to share? Yes, Narco-san?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm so grateful. Adding to Ray's comment, two parents made so many organizations, not just political or theological, that kind of organization, also sports and include sports and arts. So what I really believe, like arts really go beyond the boundary, kind of break down the border. So as like, two parents made a peace cup, right? To really, break the barriers and borders. I think that's a really very necessary, actually, you know. So I really, it's amazing vision of two parents. I really feel always, wow, two parents are such a, how to say, visionary, to prepare everything for the future. So I really, this World Cup because Japan was pretty close. I wanted them to be best in 16, but we went with Brazil. So Brazil is a more so historical. They have such a professional, high-skilled members. Many players are very, very high-skilled. But we fought very good. And lots of actually comment about in the social media. After that, Brazil lost to Norway. And I really like kind of cheer for Norway because my spiritual father is Norwegian. And yeah, I wanted them to go more beat England, but lost to England. Anyway, but I really enjoyed. But it's a beautiful thing. It's many many key players. It's very common thing is they are so selfless. They are so selfless. For the team, victory for the team, they really sacrifice kind of a, you know, they are kind of shining like a spot, standing shining spot, pass ball to somebody else. That's why I like Messi, because Messi, he's setting up a play, and somebody else to kick a goal. And one time the player failed, but he actually again set up to give him a chance one more time. They eventually make it. So I really like that kind of player, like really to supportive and very unselfish, selflessly work for team. So really learn something from sports. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, yeah, thank you, Narco-san, for sharing that. Yeah, as you shared, I could really see again that vision that true parents had coming to reality. And it wasn't just a vision that they kept as, ideas that they wanted to manifest. They took action as well. They took action to create these to make the vision a reality by preparing the environment, preparing the foundation, and yeah, as we continue as a movement, as we continue to share True Parents' words and True Parents' vision, that vision is going to come true eventually. Takes time, but it will become a reality. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Noriko-san. Yeah. And I actually like your viewpoint on that. And it's interesting that, it's just a game. It's just sports, but we're seeing the heart behind it too. Um, yeah, I love that you shared that. There's heart behind it, even the team. It's not about shining in the moment. There are many opportunities they could do that, right? And I noticed too, I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for this one to shine, but they don't. They pass it to somebody else and give that opportunity to someone else. So it's not that they're thinking of it in I want to, take the credit. I want to shine on my own, but it's that they're a team. They are a community, they're a country, they're representing their people, and their nation. And so they work together to create that, to bring the win for the country or for the team. Yeah. So thank you for that. Anyone else? One final sharing. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah. All right. If no one else would like to share, yes. Ray added something in the chat. Lionel Messi of Argentina got his start with FC Barcelona, who also funded his healthcare to overcome the lack of growth hormones, which is why he grew slowly and is still about 5'7" tall, but he's very quick and has tremendous spatial awareness. Wow, thank you for that fact. Wow, good to know. Yeah. All right. So yeah, thank you, Pastor Augustine, for sharing this wonderful message and for bringing I felt like it brought out my sense of awareness in understanding sports because I don't care for sports generally. I just think of it as competition and I do not like competing. But seeing it from a perspective of heart, where there's heart behind it, it's teamwork. There's more to it than just the competition, and it can be even more, in terms of contributing to this vision and this dream of God of creating a world of peace where everybody takes care of each other and looks at each other as brothers and sisters instead of just competitors. Right. So, yeah, so thank you for the message today. Yeah, now we'll be concluding in a few minutes, but I also just wanted to open the floor to ask Mr. Jim Davin to share a little bit about Grace's situation at the moment with the community, if you could.
Oh, there.
Uh,
Okay.
oh, there you go.
There. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's in Avalon Cares home in Federal Way. She's recuperating. I mean, she had a life-threatening incident July 4th, which is also the day that our brother Tony passed away. And I recognize that I hardly knew this brother. I
Mm,
mean, I mean, we've been here 4 years, and I've seen him, but never got to really know him. So anyway, our prayers are with him. But I wish I had got to know him better. And as I see our community, I realize every Sunday I see there are many members who don't know each other. Right? We all have a certain group that we know and stick with it. This has been my observation. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the one, right? I'm not reaching out enough to others. But anyway, I hope we can all learn a lesson from that. But Grace, yeah, she went through first June 19th. She had an operation. She was recovering from that, and then July 4th, a totally unrelated incident happened, and she started bleeding from an aorta in her intestinal area. And by the time she got to the hospital, she had lost half of her blood. It
mm,
was very, very touch and go for a while, but the doctors were amazing at Valley Medical. They stopped it. They eventually stopped the bleeding. Took them a few tries. An artery is not an easy thing to clamp down on, but she's doing well, and she'll just be in this facility for maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then she's doing well. She's fine. So as you mentioned in your introduction, there are others who are dealing with health issues, maybe worse, maybe better. I don't know. So especially as many of us are getting older, these things happen to us. And yeah, anyway, I appreciate everyone's prayers and those who reached out to us, and those who haven't, I know they're thinking of us. So, and we need to really think more of each other. And anyway, yeah, that's that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jim, for sharing with us. Yeah, and thank you for that reminder that yeah, we're a community. Well, maybe we know each other. We've known each other for 30 years, 20, 10, 1 year, but the most important is relationship, right? So I'm glad to hear that Grace is doing better and she's recovering. Um, and yeah, please keep her in your prayers. Continue to keep her in your prayers and also pray for each other. Yeah, I think it's important to do so. I know you said that as you get older, you have health issues, but I think at any time, any point, anything can happen. You never know. So yeah, let's pray for each other as a community and um yeah, have this heart to really want to know each other, get to know each other for who we are, who you are individually, and not just this brother or sister I see at church, right? Yeah, so thank you for that reminder as well, Jim. And yeah, I also see Hiroko-san here. I hope you're recovering well and you're doing better, feeling better. Yeah, so thank you all. Now we're going to go into our unison prayer and then we'll end for today. And I hope you will have a happy and wonderful Sunday together with your families, friends, neighbors, or even by yourself. It could be you and God. It's okay. So, yeah, let's join in prayer. We'll have our unison prayer. We'll have some reflection music in the background. So, yeah, keep those who are struggling with their health in your prayers. Just pray for each other at this time. Yeah, know God is within you. God is always listening and God knows your desires. So yeah, let's take this time to pray all together. So also feel free to unmute if you'd like. All right, Shija.
Father's Day, my parents, most precious siblings, good morning.
Beautiful day, Heavenly
May
Family.
God come
Beautiful
together
summer
here
day here in
to
Seattle.
offer this
Starting
Sunday
July
service to
19th,
you, Heaven
and
Parent.
it's going to be
Thank you for the sermon
beautiful,
that Pastor Augustine
fresh,
gave it this morning.
not too hot, and
To
it's
parents,
check
really
for everybody.
established so
Grateful
many
for good service, for
organizations.
Pastor
Pastor Peace
Rudy,
Cup through the
Pastor
soccer,
Augustine,
to reaching
everyone,
out the younger
and
people.
sharing
And there's
and
a
praying
wonderful the
for
breakthrough the
many
barriers and the
things like we
borders
have
of nations and religion. Heaven
this
Parent,
afternoon
we're so
for
grateful for their
Parents'
visions,
Day here in Washington
their
State in honor of
actions,
5
Heaven
couples,
Parent.
and
Really,
to
they are through the old
share about parents,
area that you parents
about
really want
building
to
Kingdom
break
of God,
through, the
and
bringing people
giving an
back to
award
God.
to 5 couples
Every
for
parent, we are so
excellence in
grateful.
parenting.
Our
Not
two
that
parents
they've
sacrifice
done
and their
everything perfectly, but
devotion.
they've
Every
made
parent,
an
thank
effort
you. Thank you to your mother.
in their
She's
effort.
standing
So I
so
want to
strong.
recognize
Really
sincerity,
to
recognize those
expressing her
efforts. Pray
position
also
as
for
our
the
only
preparation
begotten
of
daughter.
Sama for Brother
Every
Tony
parent,
Matsuda.
really pray.
Yeah, sadly we didn't
Observe
weren't
your
able to
mother
get
to give her strength, to give
some
her
people
power,
just don't
and that she can
share
overcome most
in
difficult
detail
time,
their
and
life,
at the same
and
time, Father, through our devotion,
therefore
through
then
our
later
choice,
partly
somehow that we can
oh
really break through the
some
barriers
things
and the bringing down the
and
God's ways,
some
to
families keep
spirit
lineage
from her, from
charts,
spirit of never
stories, and have a lot of connections
Abuji and Hyojin
going back
even
generation after generation,
they can come
but
down to help
others
us to
not
needing
so
to
much.
free our
Pray
children
for us to be
and that
better
she can go back to
intentioning
church
parents
and be
and
better to pray for the
to
protection of our
honor the
children,
blessing by
especially
creating
passion
family
to the
histories, creating
children,
personal histories,
our future
and
leaders.
histories or
Pray for the
family
world
or
leaders around the
less
world,
family, doing starting a
especially
new
the
tradition
great
centered on less
parents.
families, so
Oh,
this is really your hope, we believe, I believe. And through True Parents, you've made a new history centering on your dream of one human family, humankind under God, with good and righteous hearts and loving hearts, to come out of a long dark period of fallen history dominated. Today messages are pushing, and all this could be changed if we could sincerely kind of like come to you and repent and turn and ask your guidance to understand what you need to do now. What should we be doing to attend True Parents? Because through attending True Parents, we can. So thank you for this. Thank you for your love, for your guidance, for sending True Parents. Lord Jesus, thank you, Jesus, for opening the way for us to know God.
Right, thank you. I hope you had a meaningful time this Sunday. Thank you for joining us this Sunday. Yeah, I also just was reminded in my prayer of one thing actually. After, this past week we heard of the prosecutor's verdict of True Mother's case, or is it a proposal? I'm not sure what the terminology is. I don't remember, but yeah, they proposed to the judge their verdict or their suggestion. I'm not sure, but yeah, it felt really unfair, and very inconsiderate, of course, and to many it was a shock. I was very shocked. I heard from Pastor Hyon, and yeah, it was very shocking, and I went outside to pray, and I asked God, like, what should we do now? Should we just pray again? Because we've been doing that from the beginning. We've been just praying, and people have been offering a lot of devotion at the Chonshimwan, at their homes. During the day, everyone is just offering prayer and sincere devotion. And so I asked God, like, is that what we should continue doing right now? And God, the immediate response I heard and was that don't pray, live. God, so I was asking God, like, what do I guide the members of this community to do as the pastors? God said, don't pray, just um live, guide them to live. And I was wondering what that meant. And so I asked, what does living mean? And it was like, live True Parents' words. Like they've invested so much into this movement, into this world, and the fruits they've left are their words, and they're the blessed families, the blessed children. Those are the results of all their hard work, their blood, sweat, and tears. And so, um, yeah, God wants us to just live the word, live like True Parents taught us to live. And yeah, and that took me back to what True Mother said when she was walking into the detention center, right? She said, don't pray for me, pray for your families. And um yeah, and for the movement in general. And so she didn't say pray for me. She said don't pray for me. And that's exactly what God is also was trying to say to me. It's time to live and practice what we've been preaching for so long. And so yeah, as we go through this week, as we continue and prepare ourselves for the final verdict, yeah, let's practice that at this time. Of course, prayer is important. Spiritual power is really important, but it's not just about that. There's no like for prayers to be answered, there needs to be action as well. And the action we can take in our own personal lives is actually living what we've been teaching and preaching for so many years. So, and live as the fruits of true parents and show the world that this is who we are. And it starts with us ourselves learning to become that of what we are. I don't know if I said that correctly. And so, yeah, so I hope you can have a meaningful week. And as we continue, I'm still waiting to hear back from National about the condition that we were going to do. I wanted to do a condition together as a community, so that we can just be together as a community and grow individually and as well as together as a community as we practice and live um, our true parents' teaching, true parents' words. But I also wanted to respect what National is planning and preparing. So we'll still wait on that. But in the meantime, let's continue to just live as our true parents would like us to do. So, yeah, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful week. And yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful day for those who will be tuning into the World Cup. Yeah, there are no winners or losers except for if you lose, but yeah. Just a joke. Yeah, so yeah, I hope you have a meaningful time together with your families, your friends, and we'll see you next week at the KEA Church as we celebrate culture together. And then just a final reminder, at 3:30 p.m. we'll be having our Parents' Day event at the Ballard Church. So if you'll be attending, we invite you to do so. Again, there's a barbecue that's going to be prepared. So, yeah, I hope we can see you there. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.